This is Clix on the Barbie. Join us as we talk about Clix in Australia, current heroclix happenings, and a dash of meta. Welcome to Clix on the Barbie. Okay. Sorry, start again. Right. Welcome to Clix on the Barbie, episode 10. I'm Betton Jones, and with me I have Raphael Souza.
Hello.
And Chris Rizzi.
How's it going?
In this episode, we're going to be talking about our good, the bad, and ugly from the week. Any Clix play that we've had over the last week. We're going to have a 3 questions too many. We're going to do a power rankings on the top 3, being this our 10th episode. We have a little bit of a talk about Tell Me I'm Wrong, and then we're going to have some listener questions. So that's our show for today. So let's go out, enjoy, and let's talk some Clix. I've got here so level 10 on the gas, light the Barbie, and talk some Clix. Our good, the bad, the ugly. Boys, what's been good for you this week? Raph.
Well, I'll start.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah. We're out of lockdown here for now in Melbourne, which is nice, in Victoria. So that's the only good thing that's been happening for me.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I totally get that. I'm going to say that's mine too. That we're out of lockdown as well. Was back to work today. Raph,
looks like that it's the situation in Australia, right? So
yeah,
I've heard that it was extended here in New South Wales for 4 weeks. So yeah, and I also live in an area that was like, you know, like when they do like more restrictive, the most restrict lockdown. So no one can go outside my city here. In the whole area, Blacktown area, is kind of like in a more restrict lockdown. So no one can go outside. No one can basically come inside. There's like few rules about this. If you need to go to have medical assistance or something like this, but only few rules. You cannot go outside. So yeah, it's rough, and it means also that I think like the soccer season is probably canceled, but entire season is gone. So yeah, pretty much we're sad. Yeah,
that makes sense. That doesn't probably be bad. Did you have anything good though this week?
Yeah.
Did that come out of it?
Chris, you want to start?
No, I've just been back to work and cleaning house and getting a quote for renewing my shed. So that's all that I've been doing. So I got no news, which I guess is good news.
Yeah, no news is good news sometimes. I know for myself, it's been pretty much, we spent a week at home, and then it was back to work today, and so yeah, it was been pretty much normal, except we just stayed at home a bit more. So, and we don't mind that in our families. We're quite happy to be homebodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone got
much,
any uglies? Sorry. Yeah. Anyone got any uglies for the week? Anything that's been ugly for their week?
Lots of rain for me. That's about it.
Yeah, it's been wet, I must say, here too, which is a nice change because usually it's pretty dry in South Australia. So it has been nice to be wet.
Try working outside in the rain; it's not fun.
Yes, that's true. I get to be in classroom, so I can be
indoors.
Nice I could get that. Working outside in the rain is never a great thing.
Yeah.
For some reason, the day today was kind of pretty warm, but it's also I've read that it's gonna be like 0 degrees tonight, so it's
okay. Cold up your way. Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, I guess that's enough talking about us. In the end, it sounds like we're all just moving along moving along in our life pretty. So it is very just going along. How about heroclix play? Has anyone had any heroclix play over this last week that you've been able to say? I'll go first. We were going to have some.
Probably you only the only one that
Yeah,
had heroclix games.
we were going to play. We were going to have start things at our shop this week, but obviously we've not been able to go to shop because we're all in lockdown. We didn't get to play anything, and so actually I haven't played anything this week myself, which is the first time in a very long time that I haven't had a game of heroclix in a week. So I was a bit disappointed that I didn't actually get one. My son and I, we talked about it, but then by the time Sunday night come along, we're going, oh no, we forgot to play. Yeah, it's the way things go. And so I'm guessing, Raph, that you haven't had any games.
No, it's like as you said, like it was. It's a long time that I don't have a game in a week because like we were coming like season after season after season. So at least one game I was having like with the online gaming.
Yes.
But then I think like Terry. So the games that I play on the weekend, I misunderstood like one of the message from Terry. He said he couldn't play on Sunday, but I understood like he couldn't play on both days, like the whole weekend. And I ended up like sleeping too much. And when I woke up, there was messages from him like, "Oh, are we playing today? Are we playing today?" I said, "Oh, oops, sorry. I think I sleep too much, because I was not expecting." So no games from me as well, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's making me feel sad that we're not playing that much. And Chris, I'm guessing same for you?
Yeah, so I am going on a no games. I think this is week number 26 of not playing anything.
Oh, wow.
Which is, I know it's been a while. But just no time. So still like talking about it and seeing all the news and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and and I do too. Even though I haven't had a game, I still like enjoying the news. And I guess the Clix Cup they had in Florida, it was really interesting to see the teams that people were building, what won the events, and the different things that happened there. So yeah, I do enjoy keeping up with the news and things that have been going on with heroclix.
Are we talking about this Clix? Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
The Clix, the Clix Cup. I bet that Ben's pretty happy about that because you've had mission points win actual games, which is kind of surprising. So that's good.
That was nice to get up the other. Or I might have been up. No, I think I was up really late, and then all of a sudden I saw that post, and I was like, "Yay, mission points! A win for mission points." It was a 400 point silver, but still, that's an excellent accomplishment.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the caveat. Is it's 400 points. It's not the modern 300 that you can do it in.
Yeah,
right.
Not at the moment. I just think it's not quite there. Up for 300, just don't think you can have it squeeze enough into your team. But certainly 400 gives you that little bit more scope and flexibility. And yeah, so I congratulate. Well, it was called an S from the Dial H for heroclix, so I congratulate him on getting some wins out of with mission points. That's excellent to hear. Just the thought that it will be able to be done one day, and it will happen. I look forward to it. It was good seeing some of that news about the Clix Cup as well. Raph, did you want to say something about the Clix Cup?
Oh yeah, no, I was just asking if we are going to discuss that, some of the games or something like this, or there's no plans to discuss this.
Oh, well, we can talk about
because I was just like, I think it's just like
we're talking about we're talking about heroclix play. We just haven't had any ourselves, but we can talk about those teams because that's some pretty major play. It's been the first serious modern event that we've had since rotation. So it's really interesting to see the team. So yeah, go for Af. What have you got? What were your thoughts on the teams and some of the play?
I was just going to mention that it's interesting that there are a few videos up for the games, like Clixing It is one of the channels that I saw some of the games, including the finals. where Tyler's piece and Matt, I think like they played. So it was it was just interesting to me to see is that it's not like all about Secret Six, like as sometimes we discuss about like Secret Six, or what about Secret Six, what about Secret Six. So and Secret Six didn't win, and I don't even know like if they made like top 8, or I think they made top 16 or something like this. But just like so something might be quite different from like having 70 players playing in the small amount of players that we have here. So I don't know if like a Secret Six here will have more impact than it had in the States. But just saying, like, it didn't win. Like, it was not like Vulture that was winning like basically everything. Secret Six has its downsides, and it was just like basically my comment. Yeah,
I guess, I know that you were talking the other week that it was hard to get around what Secret Six was doing, but it is possible. We see that I think at least 3 of the 4 top teams weren't Secret Six. I can't be sure. I think all 4 weren't Secret Six teams. I know that some of them had pieces on, like Sky Tyrant or the Commissioner, but it was not a full team. And I guess, and looking at the teams, they were some very different teams. That gives I go for myself. Well, cool. There is still that scope in our game that we can have a range of different teams. Again, it's a bit of a rock paper scissors at times.
It's nice, and that's great to see. Like, and another thing is like, do you guys usually watch games, or it's just me? Because I usually watch them all. So just curious.
I will watch games. Yeah, go, Chris.
Yeah, I don't really have a chance to. I'll listen to the podcast about what's happened, but that's about it.
Okay.
If I find the time, sometimes I'll just go and sit and watch a game, but usually I might put one on and continue to do some work, and then I can, when something happens, because sometimes a game can be very much 5 minutes of quiet time, and then I go, cool, I'm going to move this piece. I think recording a game, that interaction is sometimes really hard, especially if they're on online games. But yeah, I'm hoping to watch. I haven't watched the final yet, but I really want to because I really like the teams that they were playing.
Yep, and it's good to see like how they play and the strategies behind it, and also other few things like as we also discussed it about like rewinding stuff. That we discussed it like few episodes back about rewinding the game and this kind of stuff. It happened more than once in the recorded videos, like full rewinds of stuff, like, oh, you forgot. It was like almost like the next turn, and the guy said, oh, you forgot about this, so like just do it now. And the guy like didn't attack in the middle of like the someone else's turn, like just because he forgot about that. But I also saw, I think it was in the finals, one of the guys didn't allow something else to rewind. So there's like both situations recorded in the video, so it's nice to watch and see different reactions and this kind of thing. Yeah,
it depends on the player, depends on the situation, depends on what the rewind is. So I think that's something that's still, and generally I think we have pretty friendly games. Most people are happy to do a bit of a let's go back to here, but it is also important to remember that there will be some people going, no, that's happened, let's move on.
That was interesting. So that's just like a comment that it's interesting to watch. So
yes, and it sounded like the Clix Cup was a pretty great success, and I wish them well as they move forward, and it looks like they'll have another one next year. Congratulations to the winners, and it certainly starts to set that new thinking for modern, even though there's not anything really happening now anywhere. So I guess I guess we just keep playing for fun, which is cool. Okay, well, we might as well finish off there talking about heroclix play, and let's move on to our 3 questions too many. Chris, I'll hand this over to you, and yeah, let's go for it.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Ben. 3 questions too many. This is where we take 2 questions sort of related to heroclix, and then we throw in a third one of just random gobbledygook, pretty much. So we will start with number 1. Name one way to bring in new players to the game of heroclix. So what would you do to foster a bigger community? Just one idea if you can. Let's go with Ben.
My thinking is get some clicks into their hand. That's why I always try to take a box of spare heroclix. Well, yeah, my swaps and stuff. It's only commons and uncommons, and I say, here, take what you like, so you can have a chance to have a look at them, have a play with them here, and yeah, and I find it really hard to encourage new people to come. But if they come, I've got stuff available to them, and try to give people clicks to play with. That's my best thing to give to new players, and to sit down and teach them and talk through the steps really simply is important as you start off.
Awesome. What about you, Raph? You got any ideas?
I think that the best thing to do is give them 300 modern team and ask them to play. Just kidding. No. I think you guys are pretty surprised, right? Oh, how this can help. No, just kidding.
Sorry, the whole thing would be to give them a 300-point team, and then you, Raph, leave because you don't want to upset them. Is probably what the best idea would be.
No, I mean, one of the things that I believe that is like playing in store, and like there's always people around, the tables when you're playing. So maybe try to be as much as like, inviting like those people to, do you want to give it a go? Because what I feel is that sometimes there are people interested in the game, but you are in the middle of the play and there's no one to actually give attention to the players that are around, because I found that sometimes we are in store playing and you can see there are people like surrounding the table and this kind of thing. So maybe if there's a chance like to approach those people and introduce the game, but most of times we are just like there playing for that like an hour or two and we don't have like much time. But I think that posting in the pages of the community. So for example, you go to, let's say, Good Games or something like this, engage with the manager and say, do you mind like posting something about like heroclix that we are going to run an event? I think like Chris does that here in New South Wales. So, trying to post on social media, like, we are teaching the game today, come and, learn the game. I think this kind of stuff might help as well.
Awesome. Those are both really good ideas. And I'm trying to come up with a good idea like that. With all the commons and uncommons I have, I'm actually going to make 300-point teams, give them to, there's 2 stores here, and just say, hand them out to every person that buys a different game or something. See what happens. Maybe make 150 points, so you got 300 points that you can play against someone, just to print off the rules, give it all as a kind of bundle, and see where it goes. But
that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that way you can try to get it out there that they have some toys that they can give to their kids and see what happens. But those are the main ones.
Have you guys tried like teaching sessions? I mean, have you ever tried posting something on the website of that store and said, come today to learn the game? Ben, probably you have tried that. So do you have people coming, actually like new people, or it's just always the same people that,
Well, okay, so we moved to a more, we're going to have 300-point events, and we had a 500-point event. That was, I guess, at the start of this year. Last year, because last year was the first year I sort of went to the game shop and sort of said, hey, can we start playing this here with you guys? And they were really great. and we didn't start actually playing. I just started to say, hey, come, it was a come and learn session.
Yes.
They'd come along.
Yeah.
Some of my kids from school would come along, and they would play games against each other. So then people would be able to come and see. Our shop's got 2 stories, and the bottom story, they used to have all gaming tables at the back, and we used to be there. So then people coming in to buy product, and they're seeing us play, and they'd come over and have a look. And that was really valuable, because then you go, oh yeah, this is heroclix, and you could take some if you want. And that was really good. We've moved to this stage of, well, seem to have a core, and we, due to changes to the shop and changes to, I guess, society, that all gaming has moved upstairs and to the smaller rooms, and then so you don't have that sort of flow through of traffic where people are coming going, oh, what are you guys playing? And whenever I do see one of those people say, oh, we're playing heroclix, and this is a little bit about it, and because sometimes a Pokemon player might stray into the room, and it's like, oh, cool. And so that's how we sort of did it. But I probably ran, I don't know, a good 2 months of just come and have a play. I can teach you how to play. And through that, I got some people who brought some Clix, and then they said, hey, how do you play? And they went home and played together, and then they came back and said, hey, can we have a game against you? Even had a guy one night sort of just messaged me and say, hey, are you going to be around? Do you want to have a game? I said, yeah, cool, I can do that. And so we got him playing, and that was really great. It's I guess it's being open and available, and it being visible is really important in your shop as well.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
I can
all right. I'd say that's pretty good. Any other thoughts about that, or
not off the top of my head?
Yeah, I think just learning sessions might be the thing, but might
be helpful.
Yeah, but also might, because like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, they have like every single week, like come and learn, sessions. I know that like there's way more people, like, and maybe if you just go to the store and there is no one to learn heroclix, it might be a little bit disappointing and not encouraging, to keep doing this. But I know that they have like fixed times to learn Magic and learn Pokemon, like you can come to a store anytime. There will be someone to teach you how to play those games, that's maybe, if not every week, but every once a month, or try those, come and learn. Promoted by the store, So probably like social media and stuff that might help. I think that's my thought.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll go on to question number 2. We have War of Light, Fear Itself, War of the Realms coming out as a heroclix storyline event. What other storyline would you want to see brought out? Let's go with Raph on this one. I don't know do you collect comic books or read them?
No, I'm not into comics. That's pretty weird, isn't it? Because I know that like most of like people that plays heroclix, they kind of like are all into the comics and they know all stories and about everything. And I feel a little bit dumb sometimes because like people are just discussing comics and all the stories behind like the figures, and I just like. I just know that this figure is good, like that's the only thing I know. But I'm not into like the comics. Okay, so not going off topic now, but if I want to start reading comics, where do I start?
Well, I would say you grab your favorite character and just start reading a book with them.
Okay, but which one? Do I read like the number 1 like comic? Like do I start with like I have to, let's say, Google it and say what is the first Spider-Man comic book and start from there?
No, you don't. I mean, what you can do is look up Spider-Man on YouTube. There's usually Comics Explained is a good channel.
Okay.
Where he'll talk about what the storyline is, and that's a good place to start see if you'd like it.
Okay.
And then you could go through like I think Spider Island is a Spider-Man one, so you can start there, or you can go back and start with the introduction of Medusa, or somewhere after that.
Okay.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll give a look on this site. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of just pick up one of the latest issues and have a look at that and see what's going on. And starting at number 1 and working your way up would be just probably not as much fun as maybe just picking up the latest issue and seeing where they're at the moment. But it could also be which Spider-Man have you liked. If Spider-Man's your guy, I don't know if Spider-Man's your guy for heroclix or a guy you like. But I really like that PS4 Spidey. Where what was he in? And then you could look at that storyline, and then it might work your way into going for it. I know when I started collecting comics, it was just like I just went down and picked up a comic off the shelf and thought, this one looks really interesting, let's start there. It was a random Avengers issue, and just started from there.
Cool.
Yep. That's mine. Sorry. So, yeah, that's how I'd go about it, Raph.
Okay, cool. I'll probably give it a go. Yep.
Okay, cool. What about you, Ben? Do you have any storyline out there that you would like to see come out?
So this, you got me going out and pulling all my comics out, and actually had to go through. I pulled out a whole series and read a whole series over the weekend because I was really interested in this one, and I came up with a lot, but I won't do everything because I was sort of thinking if it was like an in-store event. Is that what you're talking about? Like a weekly.
Yeah.
Yep. So if we had an in-store event, so
like No Man's Land and
other
ones like that. Yep.
In the end, I nailed it down to 3. I thought this because one, I really like Wolverine. I guess he's been my main guy for a while, and I really enjoyed the Wolverine Enemy of the State Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. run that they did. That's where Wolverine is actually killed and then he's brought back to life as a Hydra agent, and he takes out. He goes through and steals all secrets and takes out different groups, and then when they finally win him back over to the other side, he goes after Hydra and the Hand and everything like that. And that was a really exciting. I really enjoyed the read. And I would actually one I pulled out and read over the weekend again, and it just had really cool locations. It had like the Baxter Building and cemeteries in Japan and a helicopter, and they had like a castle battle in the end, and they went to the Hand headquarters and things like that. And you could have lots of different heroclix, like different Wolverines as he's at the start and at the end. And there's actually one where he has his own Sentinel and he's just flying on the back of a Sentinel. So I thought that could be a good finishing piece, like him and Sentinel number 1. That was really cool when they just fly to the Hand base and just start taking things out. And it had Hydra, and it's got S.H.I.E.L.D., and it had Elektra and Daredevil. It had the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, so it had everyone in there. So you could get, if you wanted to do something War of Lightish, you could have the boosters and people could build from them and have maybe a different Wolverine figure as prizes each week. That was one. The other one was a Wolverine one as well, which is Old Man Logan.
Yep.
The original Old Man Logan. I think that could work out really well with different things like a spider buggy. You could have
with the Wasteland. Yep.
Yeah, the T-Rex Venoms that they had going around. You could have different Wolverines as from when he started on the farm to when he finishes at the end with carrying baby Bruce, and just some really cool locations like Hammer's Fall and Dwight's Crossing would be just excellent maps to see as well. Okay. And yes, I thought those were 2 because they're Wolverine centric ones. And I'll go through my last one. My last one was Atlantis Attacks, which was an old, I guess it was in the 80s, maybe not, no, probably 90s, maybe, I can't remember, 80s I think. Series they did it in the annuals across the Marvel and it was Atlantis Attacks, and ended up being set one of the elder gods, and that could be a really cool. I was sort of thinking like in the same sculpt, in the same vein as like Necron and all those other. It was always nice to finish off with a really big piece at the end that you could win, and you could have like set, which was like 7 serpent heads coming out and things like that, and just have different events because it went through every annual, so you have lots of characters to choose from, and you could choose lots of different locations, and it just I'm thinking that would be cool just to have something big to finish off with to win. It's an old series, cool. But it'd be an interesting one. So that was my 3. Sorry, Chris.
No, that's all good. That's
awesome. Think too much about these things.
Yeah, well, you have time to do it, so it's good. I'm gonna go with the X-Men and Avengers crossover, where it is called Access. And so what happens is you have Onslaught that actually mind screws everyone and switches allegiances. So you have Apocalypse, that's a good guy. You got Iron Man, that's a bad guy, and it just kind of flips their morality is what it is. And you got some really good characters like a Buddhist Deadpool, or I can't remember, Tai Chi Deadpool, which is, I think, pretty cool. You got Superior Iron Man, which in one of his offshoots, he actually corrects Daredevil's eyesight. So it makes that better. And it's a different way of looking at things, I would say. Plus, you get an Apocalypse that's actually good, like a good guy, not
good guy
survival
Apocalypse.
Of the fittest. Yeah,
that sounds like an interesting one that we can see, and hopefully we'll see some shop play again very soon.
Yep, I mean we do got more realms coming out, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I think it'll be good. All right, we'll go on to the last question of 3 questions too many, and that is, with Seinfeld getting a Lego treatment, I'm pretty sure it's coming out. I saw it on Facebook, and I mean, I got to believe everything that's on Facebook. Is there a show? Yeah, Facebook is truth. Hashtag Facebook is truth. Is there a show or movie that you would want to see in a Lego set? I'm going to start off. I want Star Trek. I want to see the Enterprise in Lego. I want to have a tiny Picard and Q and just everything. Riker #1. Mine would be Star Trek 100%. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. With just the next generation or just all Star Trek?
All Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie, so I love Star Trek.
Nice. I like that too. I'd be interested in that as well.
Good. What about you, Ben? What do you figure?
Me, I was thinking I'd really like to see a Futurama Lego kit. I'd sort of had a look around and people have made their own, but it'd be nice to have something official, a Futurama Lego kit. I'd really enjoy that. It still makes me laugh when I watch it now. So a Futurama for me.
Nice. Raph, what do you got?
Lego stuff. Let me see. Maybe the series called The Office. Yep. Okay, probably that one.
You want The Office?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, Steve Carell.
Can you imagine that? that building and that stuff. That appears in the beginning of the show. That stuff as a Lego. That the parking lot and all that stuff. That would be like quite funny.
I can imagine.
That's awesome.
I could imagine then, as it come through my head, that little Lego piece, which is like his stapler and jelly.
Yeah.
I almost feel that one. And so that'd be cool. That'd be a really good one.
Actually, looking it up, there is an actual The Office Dunder Mifflin Scranton on eBay for sale.
Is it?
That's what it's showing.
Nice.
If someone made it, I'm not sure. It's funny.
I have a T-shirt like Thunder Mifflin, like and fun thing is that like it's not everyone that knows what that means, so I can just like use the T-shirt like on the street, but there are some people that recognize, it's like a blue T-shirt written in white. It's like so it says Thunder Mifflin like paper company or something like that, and when people recognize, like you see people laughing, like say, I know this one,
Cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, and if I can add on top of this question, like which thing, like series or something that you like can be even comics or something that you want to see as a heroclix that that they didn't do it yet. Like, let's say you want like they did Street Fighter, right? They did Dragon Ball Z or something like this. Like this sort of stuff. Like, what would you like to see as a heroclix that you don't think that they will do it?
Oh, you're taking away a question for a future 3 questions too many there, Raf.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
What about we hold that question
I'm just
for
kidding.
another time?
I better read the script next time. Sorry.
It's a great question. And
It is a good question. We'll do one for our next episode.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do it next episode.
And maybe if people are actually listening, they could put a comment down and see what they're doing.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Next one, okay. It's like we are creating like a novel, like there's stuff that you need to wait for the next episode to see what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
To be continued. Dun, 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 dun. I can hear the music in the background.
Yeah, so that is 3 questions too many. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, I thought with it being our 10th episode, and we might as well look back at our HeroClix set, and what better set to look back than the 10th anniversary sets of HeroClix that they had many years ago. What would be? Now I've lost it. And so, and then I thought we could pick our top 3 from that in our power rankings of 3. So looking back at the 10th anniversary sets, which were done in 2014, both Marvel did a 10th anniversary and DC did a 10th anniversary. They were small sets, 23 figures. What's our top 3 from those? So have you guys had a chance to have a look back at them? Were you playing at that time?
24 characters.
24? Oh, yes, 24. Yep. Were you playing at that time, Chris?
Yes, I was.
There you go.
I believe I got full sets of both back home.
Wow, nice.
Which year was that?
So this was in 2014.
2014. Okay.
No, 2012.
12? Oh yeah, 12 because it's, yeah, okay.
What do I have? There we go. 2012. There we go.
Yep.
So let's
God,
go
I've been playing this game for over 10 years now. God help me.
When you come to that realization, you go, "Oh no, I've been playing this game for a long time." Yeah, I know it hit me the other year. I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I think I'm HeroClix for life now." That's the way it is. Let's do DC first. Let's look at the DC set. So, looking at your top 3, what would be your third pick? Let's go around and let's look at our third. So what would be your third pick out of that? We'll save our final ones to last. There'll probably be a bit of crossover, I'm sure. Chris, let's look back. DC 10th, what's your third? What do you think was the third best figure in that set? Or maybe it's just a figure you really enjoyed.
I would have to say the number 20 Lex Luthor. So I just remember him being a powerhouse for what he does. 160 points. He can be given a ranged combat action to use his penetrating. He's got leadership. Yeah, I like that shield Lex Luthor. I think he's pretty good.
He hits hard. Start off with a couple of point values.
Yeah, a couple. There's 160 and 100. I would probably play him at the 160. I mean, it's 2 extra clicks for 60 points, but you're kind of doing a little bit of walloping. So that's where I would go.
Cool. So that was your third pick. Raph, have you had a chance to look through the sets or?
It's like I was not playing at that time, but I just found like everything when I look at those pieces, it's hard to kind of like for me, since I didn't play by that time, and you know how the points stuff like changed over time. So everything that I look here looks so overpriced in terms of like points, you know. Said, okay, like 8 clicks long, 170 points, just don't sound really good. So, I mean, every opinion that I might have in terms of, was that good for the moment? I'm not sure, like, I'm going to be able to kind of like guess, because they're just looking in now, they don't sound like really good for the points. But maybe, again, for example, Chris just mentioned that Lex Luthor was good, or he liked that. For that moment, if you were playing, it was like a different game, right? So
yeah, it certainly was a different time, and it's probably the
was that Superman good? Because like I was looking at the Superman 24 Superman with like 8 clicks and because they usually screw up stuff with Superman, right? They never do like a really, really, really good Superman. Even the Superman Prime's not like that good. So was it like a playable something that you can win with? Like like for 5 damage? 5 damage seems pretty good.
Well, and just looking at it was, so we'll talk about Superman. He was on my list. He wasn't my third choice. He was a bit higher than that. But
okay.
He was a beast to play. He really was. He had regeneration at the end. He had toughness. He's got steel energy, so he could still sort of hit. Remembering that dials were even a 10 attack, then was pretty feasible to be able to hit really easily. And yeah, but he started off, he'd be charging in 7 damage, banging, taking someone out. And others are rolling leadership, So it says whenever opposing character rolls a 1 or 2 for leadership, you may heal Superman 1 damage. You get to heal off of them. Yeah, he was a beast to play, and you land on a hypersonic click, and you're off and running, which is really good. And the hypersonic steel energy works nicely.
Yep.
So yeah, I actually look at it now and go.
And with like triple perplex on damage, he would be like 8 damage.
Yeah. So and 170 points is a lot to pay for him, but he was quite a beast to play. I remember playing and then going, "Ooh, I probably shouldn't do that again to people."
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to say that was my number 1. So Superman was my number 1.
Oh, okay.
But that's because he was just that good. I found him to be really good to play.
Sorry for spoiling your number 1.
No, you're fine. And
it's all good.
And it's probably going to happen in such a small set. I had, for my number 3, I had Batgirl. So Batgirl was number 6 in the set. She was cheap. She was cheap. But she was a good tie-up piece that you could use. 42 points, 17 defense, combat reflexes, lead climb. She could get in there. She could hold her own. And that was, I guess, something we've neglected to say. These 10th anniversary sets had this battlefield promotion mechanic where if they got tokens, they got to change into another character. It was pretty hard to pull off the promotion tokens, but she was really great tie up. I'd move her out. She was stealth, so if you could tie them up and be hindering, and so that she was just a really good piece to play.
And what did you do with that? I'm reading through this promotion token. So when you hit, you put that promotion token on the card, and then you roll a d6 and add 1 to the promotion token, or each promotion token you have.
So if you got 1 and roll a 6, then you'd have 7. So you'd have to try your next turn.
Oh, okay.
And you'd have to get over 8 or higher to replace.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, just a way to level up is what it is.
Yeah, and she changed into Oracle, and so then you have Oracle shenanigans.
Yeah, I see.
So
nice.
They started to get perplex and prob, and it was just trying to roll an 8. And first of all, you had to hit a couple times and before you even had a chance to get it going. And so usually you're going, I won't worry about that, and just moved on. But if it ever did happen, it was always great fun.
And what is the thing about these points like 73, 41? Like why was that?
It was just their way of dealing out points back then.
Oh God.
They had an equation, and that's what the points came out to. Not rounded off for a 300-point game.
Okay, cool, interesting. Yep.
It's been a forever question. The point value, was there a calculator? Was there not? People are pretty sure there was. And certainly the game is a lot easier with just having fives and zeros. It makes it a lot easier to build teams. And it was always, well, you would never, in a sealed, you would never, well, very, very rarely be able to make a 300-point team.
Okay, I see.
It was like finish up at like 297 or 293, and you're like, yeah, with those points. Chris, what was your second? What was your number 2?
I got to go with Black Lantern Batman.
Nice.
Yeah, just I'm a fan of the Black Lanterns. He's got Pulse Wave with the range of 4. Yeah, I'm just.
Which one is this? Which
This
number?
Number 23.
Oh, okay.
For 89 points. Yeah. He's got the stealth and the leap climb.
But Pulse Wave just on few clicks, right?
Yeah, just on number 2 and 3.
Yeah, okay. Good.
But I mean, you push him to get to that one, and then
okay.
And then you start hidden.
Nice.
Pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, interesting.
And he had that extra thing of that when he does friendly characters that share a keyword with Batman, reduced damage dealt to them to 0. So you could be pulse waving next to Superman.
Oh,
he's got
nice.
Black Lantern caught, and then you still protect. Yeah, so he's protecting, and you just so Superman can carry him out, and then so that was it. And the perplex and the outwit, super valuable.
Nice. And back on the day when Pulse Wave was doing full damage, right?
Yeah, full damage.
And he had only a 2 damage. It still was quite valuable.
Yep.
My number 2 piece was Oracle. So leading from Batgirl to Oracle. Oracle was just that great support piece. So, certainly I go for a support piece for 73 points. It sounds a lot today for 73 points. But she had she had my eyes everywhere, so she could draw lines and fire through people with the same keywords as her. And she had outwit, perplex, or probability control. And she could choose by having that power action to do that. So it was just a support piece. You'd put her in the back, hide her, work through the others to use her abilities, and be able to change it up was always really good. Now she has got willpower, so now she'll be able to roll for willpower, so she could keep choosing each turn, which would be really good. So that was mine, Oracle. And I said my number 1, which was Superman. So Chris, what was your number 1?
I gotta say Wonder Woman. Just so she can do the lasso and then pull him in for close combat. That's the one that I like.
So that's number 22, the Black Lantern Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Black Lantern. When Wonder Woman can use in-cap, if she has a range value of 6, when she does, instead of giving an action token, you may place that character adjacent and then do a close combat attack as free, targeting that character.
It's the old Mortal Kombat, come here, over I come, and beat up on him. Yep. Yeah. So all 3 lanterns.
She's got some good stats. Pretty good stats, I'd say. So, yeah.
Excellent. So all the Black Lanterns, which were the chase figures in that set, we've talked about because they were pretty good. Excellent.
And
let's look at
just looking at that promotion, the Wonder Woman, the Batman, and the Superman can all be promoted into those Black Lanterns, which is I totally forgot that. I didn't think that was a whole mechanic, but I think that's with every well, maybe not everyone, but Do they all have promotions, or half of them do? I think.
Not everyone, but certainly a lot of them had the promotion mechanic. I think John Jones does. Green
Yeah,
Lantern
you know what?
did.
12 out of the 24 have it, so they all go up into themselves. Which is kind of cool.
Oh, wow. What about Blue Beetle? Oh, wow. Okay, wait, let's not get sidetracked. But yes, could I just go, oh yeah, that Blue Beetle jumping over the letterbox. So that was DC. Let's look at Marvel. And so Marvel was very similar, had the promotion mechanic in it as well. And had some really valuable pieces in it. So
My number one is Dark Phoenix.
We're waiting for that.
I can see a Dark Phoenix here. Said, okay, I just picked that. I don't even know the stats or anything. I know that probably is the best one.
Yeah, you know what Raph is? Raph is Dark Phoenix number 1 at 300 points, Dark Phoenix number 2 at 200 points, and then his number 3 is Dark Phoenix at 100 points. Oh, yeah. That's what Raph's is. Yeah. All 3 points. 1, 2, and 3.
Nice sculpted, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very nice sculpt.
Yeah.
It is a very nice Dark Phoenix sculpt, I must say.
You guys have it? You guys have it?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
I do have one. It is very nice. It's really solid. It's really good. But yeah, having that ability to use pulse wave and telekinesis throughout her dial, the super sensors. So she's got like the Wonder Woman thing.
Yeah, sort of
as well,
yeah.
And she heals. And so she's got that. Her last click is that when this click is revealed, so she's got a stop click, and she heals other characters when she does pop off, so she was really valuable. Range of 10, 3 bolts, power cosmic.
Yep.
Yeah, she was on my list at number 2.
Nice. Okay. Sorry.
And that's fine. So no, you don't have to be sorry at all. It makes sense. And I knew as soon as I saw Dark Phoenix, I thought, oh, cool, Raph will like that, seeing a Dark Phoenix. Chris, what about you? What was your third pick in that set?
It's a real tough one. I would probably have to say the Skrull Spider-Man, because you'd get shape change and you'd have your super senses to get out of stuff. And yeah, that's the one I'd probably go with.
Yeah, and it was really interesting. The 3. So the chases in this were the Skrull Wolverine, the Skrull Captain America, and the Skrull
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and the 99, 99, 96, which I think leaves you 5 points left over for. I would probably put equipment on these days, but I think there used to be a team ability or an ATA that you could put on them as well, that you could use. And I'd look at him today, and if he hit that last click, he'd have Skrulls. You could give him Wonder Woman as well, so then you could be rolling 4 to 6 for shape change and super sensors. Be very nice. And the other thing, gave the other friendly characters with the Skrulls keyword, they got the Spider-Man team ability, so all of a sudden they became wild cards as well. Wow, imagine having him in that. With nowadays, giving Super Skrulls and Skrull Generals Spider-Man team ability, and then they could copy Wonder Woman. Oh man, that just sounds crazy. But yeah, he was great fun to play. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to say mine was number 22, which was Wolverine. I just really liked his being a Wolverine fan, and that he could charge, and he had regen and super sensors. 96 points. He was just really, really great as well. And I think I think I've actually got 2 of him because I just liked him so much. What was your second pick, Chris?
I'd have to go with World Breaker.
Yeah.
Because he is just a powerhouse. He has so many things. He can run through blocking terrain. If he has super strength and he hits with an object, it's 1 penetrating after actions resolve. He's got charge and plasticity. Just so much there, and he can get rid of the outwit and perplex from opposing characters. So that's the Bruce Banner coming in and thinking. I would say World Breaker is my number 2.
I'm glad he got a mention. He wasn't on my list just because he's not sort of my main play style, but I'm glad he got a mention because he is an excellent piece. He really is having the 3. I know we couldn't play him at 350 in modern, but playing him at 250 was quite valuable. You could do that quite easily. So he just could do so much, and he's a great. Again, he comes down to being one of those stop click killers because he deals that penetrating after. So cool, stop click, cool. Take a click of penetrating. Okay, you're dead. So really good for that. And that was traded, so it just keeps really well. Okay, and my second one, as I said before, was Dark Phoenix. So obviously you know how great she is. So let's go for your number 1 pick. Chris, what did you have as number 1?
For me, it's the Skrull Captain America. I mean, you might as well just go with all chases for both sets because they're just all good. Plus, he has some good keywords too. I mean, you got Avengers, Shield, Savage Land, Skrulls, Soldier, and Spy. I mean, he can fit onto a lot of teams back then.
His sculpt is weird. Looks like he's pooping on something. Like that's really weird.
It's certainly not the best position that they took that photo in.
No, it's not. It's a lot nicer in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can kind of see he's holding the shield behind him too.
Oh,
so it looks like he's getting ready to throw it.
Okay.
Would have been if they just had turned it around a bit.
But what is the green stuff on his mouth?
So he's a Skrull.
Oh, okay. I see.
So
okay.
This happened during the Secret Invasion storyline that they had with Marvel, and where the Skrulls had replaced a whole lot of characters. And then a ship full of Skrulls that looked like characters crashed and stuff like that. So that's why he's a Skrull, and that's why they all have the Skrulls team ability.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right, so my number 1 pick is actually the Iron Man 009 at 125 points because he was just great fun to play. I really like this sculpt. It's really simple, but he had that adaptive armor. When Iron Man will take damage from a character assigned a relic or resource, Iron Man ignores the damage and rolls a d6, and a result of 1 to 3 deal Iron Man 1 unavoidable damage. So he had a 50-50 chance of not taking any damage if they were having a relic, and at that time the Gauntlet was pretty popular, so playing him, if I remember correctly,
it was like disruptive stuff, right?
Yeah, so cool, you're playing the Gauntlet.
Okay, I see.
I'm playing Iron Man, and I think it was the Gauntlet. And then going, cool, well, I'm not going to take any damage from you, or I only take 1 unavoidable damage. So, and you still had enough power. Like, at 125 points, he was running shot cycle last 10 for 4. You had perplex, make it 5 damage, or had long range. So he was, he was a great killer. And then later on, he gets outwit. So he was really valuable to play. He was my number 1 from that set. And I just like the way they sculpted him, sort of flying up, and
that's a great sculpt. Yep.
One of the nicer Iron Man sculpts I've seen.
Yep.
Cool. And so that's our power rankings of the DC 10th and the Marvel 10th anniversary sets on our 10th episode. Yay. Right, we'll continue to move forward. Our next thing was our... I need to get this right.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Wrong. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you go. I'm going to let you go, buddy.
Yeah, this is all me because award shows and Hall of Fames, I think, are just the stupidest thing ever. And I've seen a couple people being posted to the HeroClix Hall of Fame, and I don't understand it. It's not you're just getting a slap on the back for yourself. It's not the regular Joe that shows up to an event like my buddy Diego back in Edmonton that shows up every week to keep on playing. If you have a platform, it seems that you're number one in that whole thing, and it just feels like a circle jerk to me, and I don't understand it. I hate Hall of Fames. I mean, yeah, you did something good, but I don't think you have to celebrate it like they do. That's just, tell me I'm wrong about that. I don't think it's a very good thing.
You know what? I think looks like more kind of like American culture. It might be like culture stuff, cultural.
Yeah.
They kind of like in America they have that stuff like like winners and losers, this sort of stuff. Like I don't think we have this here in Australia. Like we can kind of like accept that we just want to work and go to the beach after work, like this kind of stuff, I don't think there's much of this culture of you are either a winner or a loser, and what is good, I think. So this thing of like doing Hall of Fames might be something cultural that probably that's why we don't understand much, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Ben?
I think I agree. This is hard. I agree with Chris. That do we need a Hall of Fame? Probably not. They probably have a committee that works out who, and they have criteria for who is actually in the Hall of Fame for heroclix. I'm just going, are we that big a game that we need a game of heroclix? What I would like, and I think Majestics does a lot of this, is that keep that important history of the game. I think it's still really great to honor and to acknowledge the people who've won worlds and things like that. Do we need do we need a Hall of Fame for that? Probably not. But I'd like to. Like, I know Majestics has kept a lot of the history of the game, which is really good because we can look back and see what's happened. And yeah, I think a little bit of Raph, what you said, it's a US based thing, pretty much. And I was then started thinking, well, would we have one for Australia? Probably not, because we haven't had that much going on. Or who would it be if we did have one in Australia? And going, do we need one? Like, would it just be the people who've won Nats a few times? There are some significant voices from Australian heroclix over the years, and it's always good to keep those people in mind. I sort of think of Jamie, who ran good games for a long time and kept the nationals going each year. And there was another guy called, and his handle on, I can't remember what his name was, but his handle on HE Realms was Zero Cochrane, and he was a really big, kept things moving in Australia for a long time. And yeah, I think it's understanding, and the history is really good, but a Hall of Fame, I'm not sure.
I mean, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, there is like so here I think we are basically like just the opposite, right? So there's like this Hall of Fame stuff that is maybe it's too much, and there is like Australia that has nothing at all in terms of clicks. Like we don't know who. Because, like for me to kind of like understand who played clicks and who was part of like the history and stuff of the clicks in Australia, I have to ask someone like Ben that was participating. I have to ask Terry that was, playing since the beginning, because like we have no records. We have nothing at all. So maybe might be like something in the middle that we can kind of like, keep the records and this sort of stuff, probably. Maybe we are not doing it like really, really well. I don't know.
For me, I'll go. It's even such thing. Oh, so I think it's really great that I know I've listened to Majestic's podcast before, and they talked about the Australian nationals we had in 2019, and that they've actually have those results, and they've actually kept. My understanding, they've got those results sort of on part of their database, so they've kept that history of maybe what's been played and who the players were. But yeah, we don't really. If you were to say, well, what happened 10 years ago in heroclix in Australia, even I'd probably be pretty hard pressed to say, and who were important players and things like that. because we were so separate in our own cities. You sort of just played your own city for a long time before we started having nationals. So the history of the game in Australia is, very hard to piece together, and just have to ask around at different people. Maybe that's something we should look at doing. Maybe it's something I could look at doing. I'm old enough to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, so cool. So that was my thoughts, Chris. I agree. Do we need it? Probably not. But hey,
no. If you were to have, like, you don't know who says, okay, well, you don't know what the group of guys that come together and say, okay, well, so and so has won this many events. We'll put him into the Hall of Fame. Who makes those decisions? Who comes up with, he's a great streamer, so we should put him in there. I don't understand that, and it's just clapping your own back, saying, "Yeah, I did a good thing." I'm not a fan of award shows. I'm not a big fan of Hall of Fames. That's just my thing.
I think it's just like, they own Hall of Fame. I mean, we can create our own. Let's say, Clix on the Barbie Hall of Fame. Yeah. So who cares, right? we can create that.
We'll put Bobby Creasman as the number one announcer for Clix on the Barbie.
Yes.
In the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Because he's been in so many great episodes.
Yes. So he's just the number one, and he will never listen to this. So that means he will never know. He will never know. So that's
he's the guy that you always know. Oh, sorry, on a date night, can't do it.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my rant. I saw someone come up with the Hall of Fame, another inductee, and I was just like, all you're doing is it's clickbait is what it is. So and clickbait is clicks bait.
Yeah, literally. Yes. Yep. That's a good one. So, clickbait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my rant on the whole thing. Maybe I'll come up with a different. Tell me I'm wrong later on. So
yeah.
That's quite okay. It's It's that whole thing of they're going to be US based at this stage, and and if they want to do it, go for it. It doesn't really impact me. So that was Chris saying, "Tell me I'm wrong." I like it. We finally come down to our last bit, which are our listener questions. Now, I believe that these are from Malcolm in Japan. Would I be correct?
Malcolm Rush.
Malcolm Rush. Yep. So thank you, Malcolm, for your questions, and thank you for listening in. And, well, does someone want to take this away? Chris, do you want to go with this, lead the questioning again?
Yeah, sure thing. So he sent us, I believe it was 10 questions about the Olympics, and
he lives in Japan, so
yeah, he lives in Japan. Some of them were doubled up, so I kind of just streamlined them a little bit. We're just going to go with 3 of them. So which Olympic sport do you enjoy watching on TV? Now, this is going to be summer and winter, so choose 1, choose 2, doesn't matter to me. Let's see what you guys choose. Raf.
I'll go with soccer, indoor volleyball, and beach volleyball.
Okay. Ben.
I really like the European handball, because I only ever see it when the Olympics is on. I don't know if you ever seen European handball, and it just looks like a game that kids have made up in the schoolyard, because it's just like kids throwing balls into a net, and it always makes me laugh. But it's interesting to watch.
Okay.
What about yourself, Chris?
I gotta say hockey when the NHL is allowed to participate. For summer, that's a tough one. I would have to go with the soccer also, just because the Canadian women's team is actually really good, or they used to be anyways. So yeah, I would say hockey and soccer for me. All right.
And for the winter games, I like the The one that you have to throw a disc and looks like you're cleaning the floor, you know that one, and then you have the disc has to stop.
Okay. Raph, I'm gonna stop you there. That is called curling.
Yeah, that's nice.
Canadians are great at curling.
That's really nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
Curling.
And you yell harder,
Yeah.
or off, and you gotta have the right draw and stuff like that. It's a great game. It really is.
It is. It is really fun to watch. Like,
yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Who is some of your favorite athletes from the Olympic games, past or present? Ben, why don't you hit us up with this one?
I will go with and this is interesting because we're being from different places. We're going to come up with different people, and there's lots of Australians who have done well at Olympics. For me, I'm going to go with Steve Bradbury, who won a gold medal in the speed skating at the ice skating, and it's I've gone with that because. It was a unique story, and it has certainly come into Australian vernacular about Steve Bradbury. So I'll hang on for that for the next question, but I will say Steve Bradbury.
All right, Raph, what about you? Do you have a favorite athlete?
I mean, I like the guys that, do history in what they do, like the big guys that gets like lots of gold medals and stuff. So I usually I like it to watch what's the just blink.
Like Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. It was so fun to watch him, because you knew he was going to win. Like there is no way he's gonna win, and we smiling, and 10 seconds, you finish first. The second one was just struggling. That stuff was it's really it was something that gives me a lot of joy to watch some of those guys that are above, the other guys, or the guy in the, I think it's Phelps in the swimming pool, those guys.
Michael Phelps.
They're just looks like superhumans, so that's what I like.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I got to go with the ice hockey for me, and I'm going to tie it into the next question, which is the favorite moment from the Olympic Games. And mine is the golden goal in the final hockey game. And it was Jerome McGinley passing to Sidney Crosby, and then him scoring to win over the Americans in 2010. That is my two good players and two good athletes, and my favorite moment in sports in the Olympics. Ben, I think you kind of touched on yours, correct?
Yeah, so mine is about with Steve Bradbury in the speed skating. So he was running well last, and if you quick YouTube it, Steve Bradbury gold medal, it'll come up with the clip, and they were all jostling for position well ahead of him, and they all fell over before the finish line. He just sort of skated on past and won the gold medal, and that's become a vernacular in Australia. So doing a Bradbury has come into our Aussie dictionary. If you just sort of manage to sail on past everyone else who's fallen over before the finish line and win the gold medal. So that come from behind win, but really unexpected come behind win. So check it out.
I remember that one.
Check it out on YouTube. Steve Bradbury.
The Canadians were supposed to win that event, but we were in that pile up.
Yeah, and they were just all jostling for position. They all fell over. He just sort of came skating through, going, "Wow, you're on the ground. They're cool, gold medal, done." and so, doing a Bradbury is certainly something that's come up in Australia a lot now. Awesome. And that was 2002. Cool. So that was my
2002 or 2018.
Let's have a look. I think when he did
it was 2002. Yeah.
So you can just go and check it out, and it shows that last couple minutes, and it always makes me laugh and makes me feel, it's just one of those things. It was a cool moment.
So national pride is what it is.
I think it was our first Winter Olympics medal. I can't be certain of that, and it's happened in such a way that really he probably shouldn't have won, but he did. So you take it.
Nice. Raph, what about you, bud?
Well, I think like the first gold medal for Brazil's soccer team was just like 2016. So it was one of the things that were missing in Brazil history of soccer, because we basically won everything in terms of soccer, but the gold medal was missing. And I think 2016 was like really important. But I also like moments, those emotional moments in Olympics where like people do some nice stuff to other people. Like I think if I can remember, I just can't remember really well, but I think like there was after a marathon or something like this, after running a lot, the guy was just couldn't barely walk. And someone was helping him, like to cross the finish line. The person just like entered into the stadium, like barely, like he was almost crawling, I think. And he was able to like finish, or I don't know. I don't remember if someone helped him or if he, had that willpower to kind of like finish, the run. And everyone was just like cheering and everything. So those moments are
camaraderie.
Yeah, quite nice in the Olympics as well. So
okay, cool.
Yeah,
great questions, Malcolm. Thank you for them.
Yeah, cool. And so that was really interesting to hear from you guys, like ice hockey and soccer, and which are things that myself as Australian I haven't really been involved in watching very much at all. So I found that really interesting from you guys as well. So cool, that was good. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our show. Chris, do you have a quote for us this week?
Yes, I have a quote. It is from Bobby Knight, and here it is. The key is not the will to win. Everybody has that. It is the will to prepare to win that is important. So it's not having that drive to win. It's having the drive to prepare for your win. Is what I think he's getting at there. From Bobby Knight.
Hence why we test our heroclix teams. We don't just come in blind playing them. It's that we have room to prepare.
Well, unless you're Raph and then you net deck it. So.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast and the guys were discussing about this team stuff. Like two guys played like the same exactly team. One guy came prepared, the other guy didn't, like just net deck the other team, the team from the other guy. And the other guy didn't do well, and the guy that actually built the team and was prepared kind of like, did like top 4 or something like this. So yeah, that proves that net deck doesn't work unless you kind of like get prepared.
Yeah, play it out.
Yep.
And I do like that quote. Well, I think we've come to a close for another episode of Clix on the Barbie, so I might read us out and let's finish off. So as we bring another episode to a close and turn off the Barbie, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the show. Have a great week, and remember that even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. Thanks for listening. We'll be back here next week. See you later.
Bye.
See ya. Keep your sticks on the ice.